Or any,
Did you want to do it again?
say what?
We're just getting the video going.
Yeah, I got the video and the audio going. So we just did roll call, all board members are present, we did the pledge, now we're gonna move on to public comment. Oh, so I did it before we had these minutes. Okay, public comment? Any members of the public here, any chiefs of any sort? Seeing none, we will go on with item number 4, the consent calendar. I did the financial review of the consent calendar and all look to be in order. Are there any comments or items that people want to pull off the calendar?
I'd just like to thank ERAF. I think ERAF was really good. And, it's amazing how it helped to balance the budget. So I just thank you.
Other comments on the consent calendar? Anybody? Okay, we're seeing none. I'll ask for a motion.
So moved that we approve the consent calendar as presented.
I'll second it.
Have a second. We'll call the roll, please.
Director Coverdale,
Yes.
Director Michelson,
Yeah.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Vice President Mueller,
Aye.
President Benton.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to item 5. Any meetings attended by any of the board?
Got something.
Okay.
Yeah, probably quickly as possible, but I did have on February 9th, all morning, a Aqua Region 5 meeting. And we did a lot of discussions and then about the water situations and Aqua's benefits. And we have the statistics here, what they've done for us members. And if they made a comment, the board members, regarding possibly an invite to mid-career and junior water agency staff to a Region 5 events to encourage their professional development with Aqua's involvement in networking progress. And all the rest here, I could turn this over to staff and they can go through all of you. Do you get a progress of Region 5's reports here? And anyway, the only one that commented about our past chair, John Weed, always asks for you. You must do some work for him over there. Good for you, though. So, but anyway, and it's got all the share of responses from the California regions. And they're doing more and more, and I think it's a worthwhile organization for us to belong to, without a doubt. So they're having a lot of meetings though, and actually board member and I were just talking about all the meetings we go to. That's one there for Water World. And then Ray Mueller on Friday night last week had a event for his election campaign, our supervisor, and our state senator was there. And in March 16th or 18th, I have a agriculture leadership conference in the state capitol, and I invited our state senator for coming to the reception up there. You know, and so we got that going. And then one more comment, if this is the time, my neighbor Jackie Matson lives on Marimana Street by the bridge going across to the cemetery on our property. He took an evening walk last week, and I think our staff has the exact dates, but told me that there was water flowing north on the gutter all the way down Main Street, pretty big flow. And I contacted our staff here in the office, and boy, they jumped on it. I don't know exactly all 3 or 4 of them were there trying to figure out where that water was coming from. I think you guys found it, right? It shut off the water. So it was really roaring.
That'll be in your report somewhere.
You're welcome. I thank you for that.
We'll be in next month's.
Oh, we just haven't.
Now your professional.
Oh, good. We have.
was very good that Jackie notified us and she was concerned about all that water going north on Main
Yeah.
Street.
We have public,
Who owns the
public
building?
support. No, cool, that's cool. They should send a note. Or thank her for her.
We couldn't get the owners of the building, and I thought the city of Half Moon Bay had the Chamber of Commerce in there for a while. But boy, I don't know, I didn't go inside, but the staff, I'll let you guys. But I could thank you for your professionalism, you know how to turn that water off right away. So that
Well,
was
good.
very positive, I wanted to make sure we recognized you, thank you.
Thanks for the update there.
Yeah.
Thanks for the work. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Other director comments, meetings attended.
Yeah, Chris and I attended the facilities committee meeting
Oh, yeah.
and went over the capital improvement budget. And I think the team has done a really good job. I'm really excited for the rest of the board to see that. And I think both of us were really favorably. I thought it was good, and the teams really worked hard on it. I want to kind of give you a preamble that we were pleased.
Then, yeah, and the 10-year number is down, actually.
Yeah.
Then you're shipping.
Oh, you're doing the double of
It
it.
went
Yeah,
down.
so that's good for the finance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I thought,
Yeah.
That was probably the best news. And I also got a primer on
Takes
the
my breath
feet per
away.
second, optimum feet per second that water should travel. So that was, I'm an expert now. So any
Oh,
questions?
good, that's,
We don't like cavitation.
we'll be seeing more of that as we're going forward in our,
Yeah.
I just,
our agenda, budget, agenda,
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
Right.
Mr. Chair, I just looked at my scribbling notes with my Aqua meeting the other day. There is some new technology on saltwater treatment and Santa Clara Valley is working on a lot of their well water that's got issues in it. And so the state is putting up quite a bit of money on changing the state technology on water treatment. Santa Clara Valley, they're even doing their groundwater. They're talking about Santa Barbara is really doing a big deal with funding millions of gallons of ocean water for desal. So that was.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know what our neighbors are doing and some technology keeps moving forward and prices don't go down though and
Yeah.
the question is one of our ability to enter into those areas, but it's good to see some people are able to take advantage of this. It's certainly an option that needs to be addressed going forward. Other comments? Any other meetings? Okay, that's great. So we're making progress here. General business number 6. Item A, consider approval of resolution 2026-01. Amending and recodifying the regulations regarding water utility system improvement, including new and modified water service connections to existing water main lines. Okay, who's gonna?
Well, I'll just
Wonder if that's-
start for a second. I've asked Kathleen Brennan to present this item tonight. And I'll just say over the last 3 years or so, Kathleen has taken the lead on this project and has worked alongside John Sutter and from EPI, Gina and Darren to update and recodify these regulations for water utility system improvements. So this has been a huge effort and an important one, as we now have a document that supports our current workflow, our current engineering practices and industry standards. So I really want to personally thank Kathleen for helping keeping this project going. And the other point I do want to note, yesterday we met with the facilities committee and we went through these regulations, and there was a suggestion regarding some, clarifying some issues on velocity that we just heard about. And so John Sutter quickly went and made some modifications. It doesn't change the substance of anything. It's just really a clarification of language to help our users of the document. So we sent that out this afternoon. We posted it on the website, and we have copies But it's pretty minor, but it was important, you know, that the committee felt it was important.
I'm sorry.
I want to say thank you because I feel really strongly that the rules that we put out to the public, it's really important that they be clear and easy to read. And I was really, I want to say thank you for the team to hearing my comments, and we weren't changing the substance, we were just making it so that if a person read the rules, they would be more likely to understand what we were asking for. And as you know, we've had some challenges with customers in the past who've been upset or seen something differently. And so before we even start, I want to say thank you guys for working on updating this and making it. And one of the things they started with the facilities committee was saying that they had looked at other districts and they'd identified districts that were super complicated. I don't want to name them, but you know, had gotten too far into the weeds in making really unique and specialized rules. And that this team worked really well to make them common, uniform, but in the best interest of Coastside County Water District. And so I'm going to start by saying thank you.
Other,
That is a motion.
No, she's got it.
Okay.
Emotion.
Nice job.
my question is, the new B, new attachment, does that change the motion?
No.
Do we have to modify or amend?
No, so
I just.
Yeah, so
Speaking.
the facilities committee provided some input
Okay.
yesterday. Staff heard that input,
Okay,
made some revisions to the regulations.
Okay.
There's a red line version that's been distributed.
Right.
It includes those revisions.
Good.
That's before all of you. That's on the website.
right,
So the motion is to adopt a resolution, and these revised regulations that
now
you
the
handed out
resolution,
would be the ones attached.
now
to
are
that
the
resolution.
now are the attached.
So it
Okay,
wouldn't
fine.
change the recommendation,
Okay,
but
fine.
what was handed out, what was recently posted would be what would be
Okay,
attached.
fine. So Kathleen, you want to walk us through it somehow?
Sure, well, since we're talking about it, yeah, why don't we start with the recent changes?
Okay.
So, so in the revised regulations under the engineering construction standards, and then under the basic design criteria too, language was added to, 2.3, the transmission pipelines, A. And, so the change, I'm sorry, wasn't A, but B. The maximum head losses, design head losses shall not exceed 3 feet per 1,000 feet of main line at peak hour demand conditions, 10 feet per 1,000 feet of main line under maximum day demand plus fire flow conditions. And then C is maximum velocities. Design velocity shall not exceed 6 feet per second during peak hour demand conditions, or 10 feet per second under maximum day demand plus fire flow conditions.
So those were the
So those
changes that were
okay, then
put
there
in
was-
B, right? Go ahead.
yeah, then
Yeah,
moving
no.
forward under 2.4, the distribution main lines.
Right.
Under D, maximum velocities for all pipelines, design velocity shall not exceed 6 feet per second during peak hour demand conditions, 10 feet per second under maximum day demand plus fire flow conditions.
Those are the changes.
Those are the changes, yeah.
that generated this. I must say that I'm impressed with the facilities committee as having this information at the tips of your finger. I would be hard pressed to have that. I'm
Got it
impressed.
from Glenn.
I mean, I disagree with the numbers, but I'm impressed. No, I'm just carrying this on the tips of your fingers is really, I'm
Well, I
impressed.
had an engineer
What can I say?
sitting with them. I mean.
Yeah, we had it.
That's cool, man.
No disrespect to Jonathan, but he was kind of on his back foot a little bit yesterday. I mean. Full court press going.
I've noticed that whenever there's anything incredibly complicated, it takes a lot of attention and study. Kathleen always shows up at the meeting and clarifies it. I just think, big kudos to the fact that you're able to sit, analyze, study, interpret, modify, and coordinate. I mean, it's kind of amazing, really.
Well, I can't take credit for that. That was Jonathan Sutter all the way.
Yeah, but you were coordinating the effort and here it is. And you're the one that
Well-
still talk about it.
Mary gave me credit, but Mary was also very
Yeah,
instrumental.
we have people watching the sword here, basically. You're gonna do it, we better do it right.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
glad
where,
that you got this where it should be. That's good.
well, yes, but I would just like to say
Sure.
that hopefully we visit it more often and,
That'll come after we get the discussion.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All right, so
we'll talk a bit about that.
let's start back from the beginning.
Let's talk about what's
But
in it first.
I think you get a lot of credit for sticking to this and working on it and doing it, because this is it's a very complicated,
Right.
deep piece. And I really appreciate your patience, and I want to say thank you for bringing it forward.
Yep.
And as I read this, I'm really impressed that we are modernizing it, we're updating it, and we're making it more friendly for everybody, the
Yeah.
staff and for.
And for applicants.
Because, yeah, so
Customers, sure.
thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
so staff is asking the board to consider approving resolution 2026-01, amending and recodifying the regulations regarding water utility system improvement, including new and modified water service connections to existing main lines. So as we were discussing, this is a significant update. The last update was in 2003. So there have been a lot of changes in the industry since 2003. So hopefully these regulations, these updated regulations will provide more clarity for the applicants. And hopefully future updates would require less effort if we visit it more often and bring it to the board. So the regulations were modified and restructured to correspond with current workflow, current engineering practices, and current industry standards. The amended regulations will assist the district in effectively communicating requirements for mainline extensions and for new or modified water services on water mains that already exist. So infill projects, basically. We did change the title from the original title, so that's what's in the resolution. The name change reflects removal of the construction and materials section. So the reference to materials and the construction standards and standard drawings were moved to a different document that staff, we're not asking the board to approve, because staff wants to be able to modify and create drawings, standard drawings, and the flexibility to meet unique conditions at a site. So, and that's the place that's going to have, how you install a water meter, tap the main, the paving requirements, as-built requirements, that sort of thing. So some of those details have been removed. The standard specifications and standard drawings document, we worked originally with Packport Engineering, and EKI has taken that over, and we've kept it updated, and it's available on our website. And it's one of I provided a link to it in the staff report because it was a very thick document. I didn't have to print it out. If an applicant just needs to, is doing an infill project like a single family home on a street that already has a pipeline, then really all they need is probably the standard drawing, standard specifications. All the information they need is going to be in that document. So it makes it easier for the applicant and their contractors and engineers. We removed the fees and charges, because we want to have all of those in our, in the rate and fee schedule. We want to standardize, so there's one place for applicants to look so they can see all the fees and charges that would be applicable to their project, whether it's just a service installation or a pipeline extension. We kind of expanded on, there was an existing appeal section, but we expanded on it. And we designated the general manager to hear all the appeals initially from the applicants if they have a problem with our requirements. We updated the as-built requirements because we're trying to integrate as-built more smoothly into our graphical information system so that we can update our maps more quickly. You know, and then we're trying to go paperless, so we want everything as electronic files, PDF files, so it's easier to review. We had to remove outdated references to the backflow or the cross connection control because, as you know, we've recently had to, you know, update all of our cross connection control regulations. We now have a cross connection control program and plan. We removed some other design criteria that was kind of outdated that reference domestic daily demand because it's kind of, you know, outdated with today's water efficiency standards. Let's see, I think that's the highlights from the changes. And I don't know, do you want me to read the resolution or you're okay with that? Okay. So attachment A is the resolution for the updated regulation. And if you have any additional questions. Yes, Glenn?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I got one. So I appreciate you starting on this so long ago. And you worked on it a lot. What's your thought for a recommendation for when we should revisit this? Because I think we would all agree this was too long a time period. And it struck me that if right now would be a really good time since it's fresh for you. What do you think? Should it be 5 years, 10 years?
No,
7
it
years?
seems like things are changing at a much more rapid pace.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
So I think staff should at least with our district engineer, take a look at it once a year. You know, mainly to look at ways we can simplify things.
Yeah.
And, you know, clean up the language. You know, because again, if you wait longer, things accumulate.
It gets harder.
It gets harder.
Yeah, okay.
So you're talking an annual review?
Staff review.
Staff review.
Staff review.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I mean, is that a major effort to do that on an annual basis?
I think it'll be challenging because we'll have to schedule it in and, you know, commit to it.
You say so,
And people are busy, so it's always, so that's
Okay.
why, but if you wait till every other year, I think it gets even harder, so.
okay, so
About.
to avoid this from happening in the future,
Mhm.
and keep the eyes on it on an annual basis and do what's appropriate. Would be
Yeah.
your recommendation. Okay.
Yeah, it might not need any updates.
No, I understand. It may not. be any
It's a really good suggestion because the rules are changing
Right.
and move around. And so
Okay.
why be caught with, oh, our rules are really outdated? It'll take less work to
Right.
look at it annually than it does every 7 years to go, oh goodness, it all has to be redone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The other thing I guess I should mention is, we will have to, with the changes we made in these regulations, we have already started looking at our rate and fee schedule for an update and our general regulations for water surface for updates. So the cross connection control regulations went into our general
Okay.
regulations as section W, you know. But there's little things here and there that probably need to be cleaned up, so that's next on the.
Maybe as an adjunct to the annual review, there might be a staff report once a year saying we've reviewed and there's not been any significant changes to the regulations.
Sure, we could do
Just
that.
already tell us, you do the work for an annual thing, just tell us annually, it looks good.
Yeah.
That's fine, thank you. John, did you have a comment?
No, I think we've set the bases down and now it's ready for us to continue to get home runs
Okay,
with
sounds good.
this.
All right,
And the individuals that are gonna be looking for our meters and hookups, we have to make sure we come out okay on the bottom of it.
okay. Other comments? Okay, then I have a motion.
I make a motion, we adopt resolution 26-01, amending and codifying regulations. Utility system improvements, including new and modified water service connections to existing water main lines.
I will second that.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have a roll call, please?
Director Coverdale,
Yes.
Director Michelson.
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Vice President Mueller,
Aye.
President Corbett.
Yes. Okay. Thanks, Kathleen, appreciate it. Item B,
Gearbox.
authorizing the manager for the gearbox for the Nunez water treatment plant, the rapid mixer,
Okay, the district utilizes a single SPX flow rapid mixer in its coagulation process at Nunes. And so the current mixer was purchased in 2013. And although we should expect somewhere between a 15 and 20-year life, staff would like to purchase a spare for redundancy purposes. And so it's this functioning rapid mixer is very critical to the treatment process. So we don't want to risk losing a critical piece of equipment without having backup. Sean, do you want to add to that? Or
We can keep this in the kitchen to make,
Yeah,
Milkshake
is it
with
bigger than
meat
bread box or how big is it?
it's gotta be used.
It's good size.
That's great. Say what, that's fine. How big is it?
About 3 by 3, and it has a motor hanging off of it.
It won't sit on the counter. Okay,
So we have NISCO Water Pacific is the sole authorized representative to sell these things in California and Nevada. And our other equipment are in our flocculation process also are the same brand. So we are requesting that we purchase this gearbox as a sole source procurement.
And we can do the swap out on itself.
We bring in an electrician to do the wiring when we did it. And this one, we only have one. The flocculators, we have 9. And we had a flocculator, one of the drives just got a microfracture in it. And so we had to take it out and replace it. It's not a big deal if we lose one of the 9. But if we lose one of one,
Yeah, of course.
it's a little more difficult. We can still do it, but we're just trying to be prepared.
And they'll really deliver this in 30 days.
Thought it was a little bit longer than that. I thought it was 6 weeks, but
Yeah, and I'm reading right here, lead time 30 days, and I'm like, really? But it seems like there's no question it won't come quickly. And so having a spare seems like a really smart move because it's not gonna be on the shelf. It's not gonna come quick.
no.
So I'm in favor.
Well, it's informational. Isn't it? No.
motion.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's
it's a big
recommended.
Sorry,
Motion to provide this.
Yeah, it's over 30.
Okay,
Excited.
You want, I'll do it. Want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make
whoever,
a motion that we authorize the general manager to purchase a spare SPX FLO gearbox for the Nunes Water Treatment Plant Rapid Mixer from Misco Water Pacific LLC for $39,464 as sole source procurement under resolution 25-07. No, they didn't? Oh, yeah, okay.
have a second?
I'll second that.
I have one technical question. How long is the one we have breaks? We have it fair. How long does it take?
We expect to
Change
get
it.
15 to 20 years out of them.
I don't know, how long does that
How
last?
fast
How
does
long,
it take
do
to
you-
change?
how long does it take to change to put the new one in? If the present one broke?
If the present one broke, I'd have it done same day. They hooked up a generator to a tank 3 the same day on Christmas. We can get that done in a day.
Okay, no, I just, so you can rapidly replace.
Good answer.
I only got one, that's why I'm asking.
That's once you have the unit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I have a roll
Today,
call?
it would be here.
Do it in
Okay, Director Coverdale,
Yeah.
Director Michelson,
Yes.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Vice President Mueller,
Hi.
President Film.
Yeah.
And do you have an A-frame to lift this thing off and move it around, or do we have any?
When we did it last time, they pallet deliver, with that new set basin, we have a road that brings it right up.
Yeah.
We put 4 guys on 2 2x4s and we picked it up and carried it over.
Or Matt Damrosch.
Yeah.
Me and Matt could have done it younger days.
Righty, well, let's
Okay.
keep hoping it continues rolling along and we don't need it for a while. We just have it there in case. Alrighty, next item C is the budget status, the budget process timeline. Turn it over to Jeff.
Thank you, Board of Directors, and thank you. As you know, each year we produce the budget process timeline for your information. This year, we're focused on the fiscal 26-27 operating budget and the CIP capital improvement program 10-year plan through fiscal year 2035-36. On this schedule, you'll also see references to the priorities, the strategic priorities that were established at our January 9th board meeting in the workshop that you folks conducted. And so they're reflected in italics on the calendar as well. So when we look at the timeline, so I won't go down line by line, but you'll see key dates for committee meetings, facilities and finance committee meetings to review draft versions of our plans, and clearly culminating in the June 9th board meeting where we'll present for your approval of those very plans that have been modified throughout the year. So at this point, there are some scattered references, as I said earlier, to the strategic plan. Again, the goals that we'll report on periodically, and Mary and I are working on draft versions of those goals so that the committees can consider them. Ultimately, we'll come back to the board and report against them in April. And then ultimately release summary annual reporting against those plans as well. So this is kind of a normal representation of what we do with our CIP and operating budgets. With the strategic planning priorities reflected. Yes.
Question. So as you know, a big part of our capital improvement budget for the past 25 years has been tank repairs. I see you put a special review of the MAC. Can you tell us a little bit more about including that and how that will affect our budget in the future and why we're doing that?
Yeah, it's obviously a key driver of our CIP plan. Our tank program has been driven by John Sutter and Darren, Sean, and Mary. So it's such a key element that influences not only tanks, but related infrastructure. And so we focused on that as a component of what we're reflecting in this calendar for that very. So as you know from the facilities discussion plan, that capital plan is solely highly dependent upon what we decide to do with our tanks and where.
Perfect, thank you. Because I think this is the first time we've had that master tank plan as part of our budgetary process. And I just wanted everybody to understand that will drive our economics significantly.
It really will. The largest hits in this plan are associated with various tank improvements to replace.
They're not cheap, those tanks, they're not cheap.
So on the budget schedule, the only hard date, other than board meetings, which we know of, are March 9, 10. Facilities Committee, second review of master pipeline. That's the date, that's one of those. The others are all still open, right?
Right.
They will be further defined in March, April, May, June.
Right.
But the key one looks like this second master tank plan. It says second, what was the first? I don't.
No, the whole board didn't see it, it was the facilities committee.
Facilities level.
Yeah.
So we have,
Oh,
yeah, we,
It's the second.
yeah, well, so, yeah, so, John Sutter has been working on the plan. And so we're gonna have a second, we had a first round of reviewing the preliminary version. So we're gonna
So
review
you're
it.
gonna see the second round.
And then after that, we hope to be able to present it to the,
Right.
the whole board.
Just checking, I don't know, I didn't remember the first. Other comments, questions? It looks like a good schedule and one we can plan to and
Thank you, Kathleen.
thank you for, any other comments? All right. Thank you.
Well,
All right, anything? And next one is one that we had discussed previously at the last meeting regarding how we establish and manage board committees. Okay, so it's to authorize the board president to create board advisory committee to make appointment, authorize the board president to create board advisory committees to make appointments of board members to the district board committees and to make appointments of district representatives to external organizations and associations. Review of district board committees. Right, so Mary, you wanna let us know how that's gonna happen?
Well, as at the at the January 13th meeting, we talked about changing the process. And since 2019, the appointments have been through board action. So the entire board voted on the committee appointments. As we discussed at the January 13th meeting, there was interest in going back to the practice before 2019 of having the board president make the appointments and then without any further board action. So I think at the first point, this would be a motion.
Right.
And then subsequent, after we've done the motion, that's then you can then talk about.
We can actually
You can
do
talk
the
about
business and talk about the possibilities. Is that correct? Okay, so comments on this motion? Okay, we have some thumbs up. Anybody want to make a motion? For this?
A motion, I would be willing to introduce the motion. I would move to authorize the board president to, one, create a board advisory committee, two, make appointments of the board members to the district board committees, three, make appointments of district representatives to external organizations and associations review by the district board. Period, I'm sorry.
Second.
I have a second, first and a second. No, roll call, please.
Director Coverdale,
Yes.
Director Michelson.
Yeah.
Director Reynolds,
Yes.
Vice President Muller,
Aye.
President Thomas.
Yes. So now, since we've established that as the process and approved it, the next step is to talk to the existing committees and take any recommendations regarding the existing makeup of the board, committees, advisory committees, and external organizations. I know that has been on the table, the discussion that one of the committees, the advisory committee for water reuse, has not been in vogue for some time and not been a working committee or one that has done any sort of activity for a long time. So I would recommend, if the rest of the board agrees, that we simply remove that one from the list. It's number one. Do I need a vote on that, or I can do we just do that?
You're now the guy
Okay, so I would take that off.
or the person.
That's number one. Alrighty. Number two, the second one that we should discuss, which was discussed previously at the last meeting, was the need to consider some type of committee body that had interactive relationships with other agencies that did work to try to coordinate and meet with and generally affiliate with other agencies in the district, in the county, and wherever else there may be a need to do that. So we did a little research, and Mary indicated that this thing could be listed as, do you want to read that or should I?
Go ahead.
Okay. Support the district's funding efforts include communicating with elected officials and staff of other public, local, county, state, and federal agencies to discuss the district's funding needs. Communicate with elected officials and staff of the public agencies on the interagency initiatives. Consider and participate in community outreach and public engagement. I felt that this was a very good definition of the things that we should do based on what was given to us in the last meeting, and seems to hit all the right spots that you folks felt were germane. The question is naming it. You know, that's always what's in the name. However, there are one or two that might be worthy of consideration that Mary and I sort of batted about a bit. One would be Interagency Advisory Committee, which covers, you know, all the things we're talking about. Another might be Interagency Affiliation Committee. I'm not sure which would be more pleasant to people here, but number two, that it would be an advisory committee. That it would be called at the discretion of the president, and that it would be operating on that basis going forward. And that it would not therefore be subject to some of the normal regulations associated with standing committees. It seemed like that would do the job. That's the right level of committee for this kind of thing we want to do. Any comments on the name?
Yeah,
Maybe there's other names.
we talked about this would be a great role for John if he was
Yeah, we
willing
were
to
talking
do it.
maybe. who we're gonna
And John,
provide.
what would you like as that
Sure.
name as you carry it forward and where
That'd be a
that?
good acronym.
Yeah,
Well, you well know I like government a lot. And I'm involved with a foundation, private foundation that develops future leaders in agriculture in the state of California. So we have meetings. As a matter of fact, we're having a big capital meeting coming up in March with all the politicians in the state. And so, and it's not about me, it's about all of us, but I've been appointed to some federal committees over the years too. By different presidents, except this one. Threw me out.
The question was,
The
name.
What name would?
what should we name it? Do you
Yeah.
have an idea of the name?
it really, John, the word they used was affiliated or interagency. So would you like interagency affiliated or just interagency outreach? What?
I would say the outreach, because as I mentioned earlier, and I won't say much, but we might have to go before the city Applebaum Council at times. You know, telling them that we're trying to always do the right thing.
Okay,
And if we have to look at the US Congressman thinking about our watershed as federal. I would be told.
Okay, so-
that.
We have Interagency Outreach Committee. That's the third one. Any other thoughts?
you kind of,
I just think simply affiliation committee, because it's open to all affiliation. So it doesn't really have to be so identified or specialized. So a general name, I think, is incredible flexibility, but it still says what we're attempting to do.
One of the thoughts was also external affiliation. Committee, I mean, again, we wanted to separate it to show that it was outside our own organization. That's why we would want to use some definition of affiliation, external interagency affiliation or something like that. Other comments? Again, you know what we want to do, it's just how do we name it? How should we?
It should-
What do you
It
think,
should
Chris?
roll off the tongue easily.
Yeah,
It is really important. It shouldn't confuse.
right?
It should identify what it's about. And acronyms are nice too. If it rolled into a nice acronym, that would be maybe secondary, but certainly something that rolls off the tongue and really says what it is without people asking, what is that?
It must stay with the legal counsel's advice, always be representing the board and not yourself in that correct law.
I'm sure it's structurally, what I heard is it's gonna be an advisory committee, and that would, Brown Act says that would be 2 board members. And it's not subject to the requirements of the Brown Act. You would review like you do every year, its purpose and function, and what you're doing now is it sounds like you're going to create one.
Right.
And the question, the description was great.
Right.
And then now the question is, what do you want to name it? That's not a legal question. That's
Do you have
for,
an idea?
that's for you.
No,
Okay, what do you think?
English was never my, never.
Okay.
My strong suit in school.
Great, committee is IAC. Same with advisory committee, creative advisory committee, and the interagency outreach committee is IOC. So I don't know, that's the National Olympic Committee, so.
But yeah, I mean, that's a good one. We can co-opt that. I like that.
Any other thoughts? We just gotta make a decision.
Have to stay in our legal boundaries.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything that would infringe on anybody else.
No, right.
There's a legal question. I'm careful about.
How's about interagency affiliation committee, IAC? And I just picked one, that's all. Could we get a?
It meets what I was looking for. It says what it's, people aren't gonna have to ask, it's not gonna beg the question, what is that? It explains it in the name.
You get to make the decision.
Interagency
It's you.
affiliation committee.
Yeah.
Is that good with you,
And-
John?
Pardon me?
Are you good with that name?
Yes, I think
Okay.
it's not about the name, it's about
But it does,
last Friday night talking to the state senator,
okay, that's affiliation.
I wasn't overstepping the board's boundaries. I told them how hard we're all working. I told them about the
Okay.
water road going down the main street and also
All right.
the local.
We selected a name, interagency affiliation, IAC.
That was almost as painful as.
Now to cap that, we will appoint 2 members to that committee this evening, if that's okay. I would like to appoint John Muller and Director Chris
Thank you.
Yeah, I would,
Mickelson to that.
I would take a backseat to John. I think John should be the face, but I would certainly, be proud to work with him, with John being the face.
Both have significant experience with interagency committees.
Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
Oscar being one of them, and John with the various and sundry people that he knows in the business around the state and the city, et cetera, so I don't think we would find people that are more qualified.
With a Oscar member agency now running for governor. Things could change.
Yeah,
So,
And Aqua's looking at visiting with the candidates for the governorship.
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because they're very concerned about that too.
yeah. So there may be somebody, we may potentially have a friend.
Now, let's hope we do.
All right, I think we've come to a decision on that. So we'll do that and go forward that new name on our list. Any other changes people want to recommend or change or do or beg off of or anything like that?
No.
Okay, then let's just go with this for a moment.
I'm okay with that. because I'm state, government.
Yeah, that's fine. No, everything stays as it is.
They're doing more and more state
That's
stuff.
good. We're all still pigeonholed for the things that were all, pointed to right now, so that's good. All right? With that, we're going.
All right, just a quick review, just
Sure.
to be sure that everybody's clear on what just happened. And this is great. The board president now has the authority to create committees and designate the directors who will be on the committees and doesn't need board action. And so if that happens outside of, he could do it, that could happen outside of a board meeting if a need arises.
Okay,
And then my recommendation to the board president, whoever that may be over the years, as long as this stands in place, would be either do it at a meeting like we did tonight, or if you do it outside a meeting, come back to the board and report it so that there's some record that a new committee has been created and who
Right.
is on it, or if there's a switch in any of the committee members over time.
Just a quick, simple question. If I see a city council or county board of supervisors making comments about water, would I be eligible to go and respond back to that?
So that's a great question.
Yeah.
So the advisory committee's role, the advisory committee cannot act on behalf of the board.
Sure.
You're an advisory body, and it's up to the advisory committee as the chair to call a meeting when you want to have a meeting, and for the advisory committee members to do the things that are appropriate for the district. You can do that as an individual. But your formal functions would be acting either as an advisory committee and with the direction of the advisory committee. Again, you're not speaking for the district or the board, but as a committee member. And then coming back to the board, if there was some sort of action that you
Right.
made, you would coordinate with the board president, your general manager, and say, hey, let's put this on the agenda because we want to talk about it because this is something that came from our duties or functions as an advisory committee.
Thank you.
and then these members of the advisory committee are allowed to talk to the general manager, according to the vice president regarding that. That's not a violation of any.
So the advisory committee is not a Brown Act committee.
Good.
So you don't have to agendize or have public
Okay.
meetings. You two can meet and talk and strategize with your general manager and other staff as appropriate. And certainly the council sometimes gets involved in things that you
Sounds good.
talking
I will
about.
definitely have to report to my wife too.
Yeah, that's,
Mary, can you add to the definition? Is the definitions of the various things, take off water use and add this to this definition document that goes along with the part.
right. So the document's gonna replace, it's gonna remove, because you disbanded the only other advisory committee you had, which was the water
Right,
reuse.
and this will
That is
replace
gonna be
that.
gone. And you created one
Right.
new advisory committee, and that will be replaced with the description that you
Right.
read and Mary has in this document, so that going forward, you would have that. And the other thing that you did is you didn't do this verbally, but you all kind of looked through your committees, your standing committees, the appointments, your
Right.
external appointments,
Right.
and so you've reviewed all of those,
Right.
and the board president has said that the appointments are going to remain the same. So this will be going forward as of February 10th, 2026.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. The interpretation. Okay. Next thing is the okay. Carter Hill pre-stress concrete tank and seismic upgrade project.
We are now on
Upgrade.
report date number 16. So, I'm gonna have Sean report on it today because he has been living and breathing this.
Yes. So I know you guys saw the report, just a quick little synopsis. What's been done since last time, we've got the influent pipe to the new tank has been installed, pressure tested and bacteriological sampling done. And it's ready to go. The overflow and drain has been installed. We will be pressure testing that this week. Directional bores were completed. I think we reported, but they came back and we got the boxes done. So that is for the communication lines all the way to the treatment plant down to the tanks. Electrical has been started. The first conduit lines go on the side of the tank today, actually. The effluent pipe has started, and we should be pressure testing that. Probably next week. It could happen on Friday and continue into next week. And we will be doing tank disinfection next week. And possibly starting to fill the tank the following.
Joe, how do you disinfect it, the tank?
AWWA gives us 3 methods to do. Deanne has chosen to use method 3.
Oh, actually,
And I thought it was interesting too.
You know what? Nothing for you?
I do.
Yeah,
In the past, I've done it about a dozen times for the district. And we've always chosen method 2.
Yeah. I'm with him.
How would you fill it up, or do you spray the walls, or that's kind of where I'm going? And then what do you do with the waste? I thought there was some a lot.
I can, method 2, you spray the walls with a high disinfectant
Yeah.
and then you fill it up with treated water.
Logic. Yeah.
Method 3, you fill up 5% of the tank and let it bake for 6 hours. And then you fill it up the rest with just normal treated water.
And what do you do with that?
So
When we fill it up the rest of the way, there is a chlorine demand. And, you know, it is a fresh tank, so there's a chlorine demand. The anticipation is, and we're only doing 5% of the tank. 95% of the tank is filled up with our standard water. And then we let that sit for 24 hours and then we'll back tea one day. 24 hours later, we do another bacteriological sample and we'll test it.
And we can send it to the customers or back to the plant.
yeah, because it's been diluted by that time, so you're not dealing with a super strong concentration. Because 99% of your contamination is on the floor. So you cook the floor really hot and then you dilute it to fill the tank.
And but then you can ultimately send it to the customers without running it back to the.
And just for full disclosure, we have a mixer in the tank that's going to be mixing the whole time. And it becomes a complete homogeneous,
Yeah.
you know, and it's all of it, 100% is our drinking water. You know,
No, interesting. The detail is fascinating. Thank you.
So leave it to the exploits to forward and keep us posted on.
But if you've got any white t-shirts you want done, he can throw them in the floor of the tank.
I think we're not white,
Yeah.
whiter than white.
yeah.
Okay.
And so if you guys have any questions on the pictures or the things, you can see that up to date, we've let's see, we've spent $8 million, almost $8.5 million, and we've got a little more. The comment earlier, you said it's very expensive to build these tanks, which is true, but it is also very expensive to fix the old steel tanks. So the reason we're spending this money now is we won't have to spend it every 15 to 20 years to do, you know, millions of dollars in repairs.
Yeah.
So just want to point that out from an operations standpoint.
Direct to cover them.
There's a picture in the bottom left corner, one sheet labeled construction photos. And it shows the ladder coming part down off the roof and below it to the left. So it's the one with the yellow machine.
This one?
Cat machine. The opening in the tank right there, is that where a pipe like an overflow or what is that?
Yes,
opening right there?
that picture was from last month. If you go up there today, the overflow pipe comes out there. That overflow pipe 90s in and goes up to 44 feet high.
Mhm.
And at the top, it's got a 46-inch funnel
Mhm.
because we need the surface space for the overflow. It's only a 16-inch pipe. And they have a wall spool that was cast in place when they were pouring the tank. And it's a 316 stainless steel wall spool that's inside. And then our overflow comes halfway down the tank like that and then goes underground. And the drain's also tied into that.
And how much space is left between the top of the tank and the top of the funnel that goes into the overflow?
Well, on the edge, there's not a lot of room on the edge. It's a domed roof. So in the middle, it's 58 feet tall. On the sides, it's 45.
So it's
And
about
that goes up to
13 feet.
44 feet
So 13 feet below the top.
in the middle.
Yes. And is the curved top something that helps with regard to the shaking of the tank when it's full of water said it
No,
was
the
an
curb, the
earthquake
curb
event.
top is two goals, and the reason the district went with it, number one, there's no columns.
Hmm.
There's no columns required to support it.
Standing.
That's how you would get a flat roof, you'd have to have columns.
Mhm.
And both the flat roof with the concrete tank, it's for the seismic wave, for if we have an earthquake.
Yeah,
Anybody that's seen Napa a few years ago had that earthquake and it opened up like a tin can.
yeah,
These are designed to handle that seismic wave.
yeah. So that 13 feet up to the middle of the dome allows for the water to move around in a seismic event.
So I think you're confusing two things. The slosh that has required us to drop the level of our steel tanks is because of the seismic surge that would rip the top and the side of the tank over.
Right.
This tank is so strong that it withstands the seismic slosh without a headspace. And so there's 1 foot at the edge and then it domes up to 13. The 13 is structural rigidity, so you have a dome so that it doesn't need the columns on the inside, which is a really good choice. And so those are two kind of separate things. Curved roof, so we don't have poles inside. And then the tank is so wire, what did we say, 5 miles of wire wrapping that thing?
No, it's closer to 20.
20 miles of wire, tension wrapped around with shotcrete on it so that it can take the slosh as a kind of homogeneous cylinder, whereas the steel tanks, you have more headspace so that they can slop up and slop back. And this one's just made stronger. So it's a wonderful design and
Yeah. And the steel tanks are very good for snow load, on top. They can take a lot of weight that way. It wasn't made to handle that thrust up, which for us really only happens in an earthquake.
Yeah.
Because it gets that 8 million to 20 million pounds of water moving back and forth. And the concrete can handle it. But the domed roof, really the reason we went for it is because we have no columns in there.
Yeah.
Which is less concrete, more capacity.
Yeah.
It's also much prettier.
Okay, I believe you. I like it.
Yeah, I think it's very elegant looking.
The flat roofs are a lot of places where it's required, where they want to do a park or something like that, it's fine.
tennis court.
The strength is also good.
Very good. Any other?
Yes, sir, John.
Just a quick outreach comment. You think there could be a time with a college class or a down the hill high school class would be interested in hearing some details about that new operation up there? Would that be something we could consider in the future? I'm already outreaching for us.
To look
I'll see
at
if
the
I can
tank,
get
you
the
mean look at the tank.
President Trump here, see if he's got any
Look
extra
at the
money. Just show him that.
Yeah, we'll do that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's outreach galore coming down the pike here with Mary and the gang. We're gonna do a lot of outreach with this room.
Okay,
So we.
Okay, yes,
we
sir.
went through getting this finished and.
When it's finished
okay.
and in here and
When
in
it's safe.
in the line, yeah.
Yeah, there are plans for some
Slide
outreach,
thing like that.
summer 2020.
Okay,
Thank you.
other items?
Nothing else? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sound good. Next thing was. Item 7, General manager report. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have to listen? Or are your earplugs?
Okay, so in my general manager's report, I included a letter to President Feldman and the board announcing my retirement a year from now in March 2027. So making it official. So, as you know, I started with the district in 2015, March 2015. So this will be I was appointed general manager in October 2019. So, I want to say I've truly enjoyed working with the district and we have a fantastic staff and a fantastic board. And so, yeah, I am very appreciative of working with all of you. And I am committed to continue working with you over the next year and doing all the business of the district, but also helping and recruiting the next general manager. So.
I want to thank Mary for
Oh, God.
the early notice.
Yeah.
Giving us window of opportunity to do the things we need to do moving forward. And also, albeit she's a lame duck now, she is committed to continue as energetically and as diligently and as productively as she has over the past 7.5 years in this role. So we appreciate that. In that regard, and then I'll ask for comments, I need to remind the board that our obligation as the board, one of our key responsibilities of the board is to be in charge of finding general managers. And we are now at the point where that becomes one of our key goals, if not key goal for us over the next year. And so having the time to do that is really, I think, an asset for us moving forward. I would like to ask staff to see if we cannot, to begin this process diligently and as quickly as possible, arrange a special meeting in the beginning of March, maybe the first week of March. March 2nd came to mind as the first opportunity, maybe for us to have a special meeting to discuss the approach we would like staff to take in beginning the process of this replacement search, including how to go forward and what we need to do to find the very best qualified general manager that we can. So that would be the date that's sort of in my mind anyway. And I think staff was going to ask whether that would make sense for you. If you folks will be able to be available for that. Be probably early on this 22nd. Well, that week, sometime in that time frame. As long as you're able to be there.
I will most likely be out of town, visiting my mother, so we don't really saw it. I'm certainly I'll to video in. Should that not be a possibility or it just doesn't work out, I have full faith that you guys will make the right decision. So I will support any decision you guys make, should I not. So I'm fine.
And I'd like to compliment you, Mary, for giving us some time in here. It's not like you just closed the door and walked away. So thank you. That's very professional, what you just stated here in this item on ink. So I have to build from there.
I know there's some timing issues. I think we have a lot of time, but I think that it's important for us to get on it as quickly as we can. And for me, I'm fully available on March 2nd, so that would work for me anytime. That day or March 3rd or kind of the week going before the meeting or board meeting. But I'm certainly in favor of hearing Mary's comments and talking about how we go about it. You know, do we find a recruiting person or, you know, how we feel about those sorts of issues. And so I really also appreciate the time because trying to hurry to replace someone as competent as you would be a mistake, certainly. And we've been spoiled, you know. Dave Dixon did a marvelous job. He groomed you, I think, into the incredible general manager that he'd been. And so, you know, I'd like to talk to you in a couple more years, but that's just sheer laziness. And certainly as you approach your personal life with, you know, time for the grandkids and time for travel and you know, just enjoying the success that you've built for your son. It's really important. So sad, heartfelt, but you know, thank you.
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, we get this wrong, it can be catastrophic. I mean, I'm really proud of my last two hires, and that would be Dave and Mary. And boy, I don't want to get it wrong. So this is really, really, really important. The bar has been set very high. And this board really, this is a big chore for this board to, you know, find a replacement for someone who served us so well. It's gonna be tough.
I would say, Mary, I'd like to thank you, and I've watched you grow and learn and really tackle this job as with an open mind. And you came from a more of a financial background, and you really put a lot of time in to get up to speed on shovels and pipes and water and tanks and stuff that may not have started as your wheelhouse. And I think you worked really hard at that, and it showed. And I think this board was really impressed with that growth and effort on your part. And you did a good job, and it made us, but the board has been so proud of the water district that you've run for the past 7.5 years. And I think that I can speak to say that we're proud of the job you've done, and we're proud of you. So thank you.
So good comments all. I mean, what can one say with the deliverables are the proof of the pudding.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff went on here, a lot of changes in organization and infrastructure and our presence, our transparency. It's all been good. And obviously it will remain that way because we'll remain for another little bit here, and we'll keep you honest, and you'll keep us honest. And
Thank you very much.
there'll be more to come, no doubt, in terms of things that we do to show our appreciation for this. And I want to thank you as well. Right now, let's do this. Can we tentatively schedule the third
Fall
of
2025
second of
Sports
March,
Championship
Monday morning?
recognition.
Yeah.
for our next special meeting, early if we possibly do it, and then we'll go from there
Ms. Shreve's
and
gonna
work
do something to
work
us.
the situation as appropriate. If something changes, just let us know. But right now, that's be my recommendation. Thank you.
We'll have to make it chocolate cake.
Tonight, it's.
Oh, that's
with
my
the
wife.
pleasure that we
Monday,
recognize
2nd of March.
The Terra Nova High School
Good.
varsity football
Okay,
team for
next,
their
is,
outstanding achievement
the,
as the
operations report,
VAL
right?
El Camino Division
Okay,
champions.
sure.
This
Just one thing, I
accomplishment
did
reflects
include
months of hard
the
work,
initial water supply availability
teamwork,
for
and an
from
unwavering commitment
SFPs.
to excellence both
We
on and
we
off
get that
the
several,
field.
get
These
that
student athletes have
well, 3
represented
more
Terra
times
Nova High School and the
before we
Jefferson
have the
Union High School
snow.
District with pride, determination,
final
and
measure of snow.
sportsmanship. We would also like to extend special
Okay,
recognition to head
so
coach Nick
looks like it was
Lottie,
actually
who
a
was
month
named
that
the PAL
Sean's
Coach of the Year.
up with the
This honor
plants,
speaks to his
had some
leadership,
actuators on
dedication to
the air
student
showers
development, and the
and
strong
some
culture he has built
valves out
within
of
the program.
Denison.
Coach Lottie's
Got some much needed improvement on some of the doors for security just at the plants and things like that. A lot of maintenance, that type of stuff. Continued the prep and painting of the outdoor piping at Denison Water Treatment Plant. If you guys haven't been to the treatment plants lately, they look better than ever. They're really, really nice. The painting has really done a nice job on it. We've added remote capability to our data entry program for staff. It's really going to help the collection of data. It'll make it a lot easier on staff, as well as better data collection. We did get the F-150 replaced that was damaged in the storm in December. We replaced one of the radio that communicates with our tank at Miramar. GSW did get started, and well 5 has been drilled. And we've got a few more wells drilled, but as of the time of this date, well 5 was drilled, and the casing and the screen was starting to go in. So that project's moving along nicely. Tank 3, we've recovered from all the damage during the December storm, so that's good. All that's back up as it was, and some small scale improvements at Crystal Spring Pump Station. That's a month. Yes, sir.
How deep are the wells that we're doing?
They range from anywhere from 40 to, we hope, about 60.
Oh, wow, so they're quite shallow.
They're very shallow.
Nice.
Our well isn't down here too.
How many horsepower motors?
It varies from 10 to 25.
Yeah, we
We
hit it 20.
Any casing sizes?
The casing is 22, but it gets removed, obviously. And then the well pipe is 8 inch. 8 inch, yeah. Or excuse me, 10 inch. Sorry, okay.
Once again, a sturdy report.
Thanks,
Lots
sir.
being done, lots going on. And lots more to come. No relief for the weary.
No.
And you've had it.
Thank you.
Mary, I co-opted one of your items on your report. I apologize. They had Chetty things want to comment on it?
Well, I just
Sorry, you did, you had it in here. Worthwhile
Yeah.
reviewing it.
was gonna say, the SFPUC gives us reports periodically until about April first, when they do the measure the last snowpack. But at this point in time, the reservoirs are full around the state. We had good rainfall, not necessarily this past month, although it's raining right now. And the SFPUC says that, you know, they'll meet the demand. They project that they will meet the demand of the water rate of the Boston customers under, for this year. So stay tuned to get another report next in another week, and so we'll keep you informed. As we so forward.
I think now's the time you can get big and strong people around you and go collect all these people that haven't paid their water bill.
Okay, any other director comments? I'm sorry. Request for future meetings, subjects. Any request for future meetings? Nope, looks like everybody's ready to rumble. So, thank you all, and without further ado, we will adjourn our meeting. Thank you.
Yellow.
So,
Recording stopped.
we,